Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we will discuss the topic of belief. What event have you witnessed that you struggle to believe? Now, this event, as you think about it, could be good or it could be bad. For example, the moon landing. I can't imagine both the awe and disbelief that on one day a man walked on the moon. Or for me, I remember disbelieving the news reports on 9/11. No way could a terrorist attack happen the way it did and to the level that it did. Despite the doubt, both events happened. There's ample proof to confirm both of them. Now, in John chapter 20, Thomas does not believe the claim that Jesus rose from the dead. I can't blame him. That kind of thing just doesn't happen. So what does he ask for? He asks for proof. But did he ever get the proof he desired? Let's continue the story in John chapter 20, beginning in verse 26. 8 days later, his disciples were inside again, and Thomas was with them. Although the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands, and put out your hand and place it in my side. Do not disbelieve, but believe." Thomas answered him, "My Lord and my God." Jesus said to him, "Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Thomas doubted, but that should not be his reputation. He was willing to die with Jesus twice, as recorded in the book of John. So like any of us and all the disciples, they did not believe the initial claim of a resurrection. And he had to wait for that proof. John writes 8 days later. So here they were back inside with the door locked. But this time, Thomas is with them. And this time, they get a visitor. It's Jesus. He comes again the same way. He simply appears, confirming his glorified body. And then he says, "Peace be with you." And knowing Thomas is there, and knowing his desire for proof, he says, "Touch me. See, it's really me, Thomas. Don't disbelieve, but believe." So Thomas does just that. He wanted evidence and he received it. And what's his response? "My Lord and my God." He believed. He confirms his belief in the resurrection and in Jesus' deity. Many people today can conclude that the best explanation for the disciples' claim to see a risen Christ is that the evidence supports such a claim. And yet people reject the evidence. People can look at the evidence for God by looking at creation, by looking at the design of the universe, by acknowledging a moral law and other evidences. And yet they do not believe. Both the apostles and we are blessed when we believe in Jesus and the evidence for him. But as Jesus said, "Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe." There is no doubt it takes faith to believe in the resurrection of Jesus. But I think it takes greater faith to believe that the universe has always existed, or humans are the result of time plus matter plus chance. Jesus does not desire for us to disbelieve, but believe. So what doubts or questions do you have about Jesus, about God, about the Bible, or anything in between? Would you put them in the comments below? We would love to find the answers that you're looking for. We want you to be like Thomas, like the disciples, pursuing the proof and then believing. When we pursue truth, no matter where it leads, that, my friend, is when we will win the day.